Welcome at the video about measures of dispersion or spread. In this video we will discuss how to use the measures of dispersion and show you how to do that in SPSS and how to report in Word. We have the following measures of dispersion: variance, standard deviation, minimum, maximum and range. They are not to be used in every case. Standard deviation is the first one we will discuss. When to use? For scale, ratio, interval, variables. Questions you can ask: what's the age of second year BUAS media students? You will get, of course, the average age, which was 20, as we remembered from the previous video. But not everybody is 20 years old. There are younger students and there are older students. So we want to know more, get more insight into ages of media students. Why do we use it? It will extend the information you can get from a scale variable. It will help you to have more insight in the information you are analyzing. How can we analyze this in SPSS? I opened SPSS again, and of course we use the option Analyze. Descriptive statistics, frequencies. We choose the variable age. We go to statistics. We have the mean and select standard deviation. I also check minimum, maximum and range. Click OK. Click OK. And we have our output file again, where we now can see, we see the mean, the standard deviation, the range, the minimum and the maximum. Of course, we also have the frequency table, which shows you an overview of exact numbers and percentages. How to report the standard deviation in Word. Well, first of all, I copied the tables to Word, and now I've got the complete table in Word for the statistics and the table for with the frequencies. Using these two tables, I can now write in my report what my findings are. And again, I can do this in different methods. So, for instance, we have found a mean age of BUAS second year media students N is 113 of 20 years, with a standard deviation of 2.5. This means that 68% of our students is between 17.5 and 22.5. The youngest students was 15 years old and the oldest was 33 years old. As you can see, we now have more information about second year media students. I can also write the average age of media students N is 113 that has been found in this research was 20 years with a standard deviation of 2.5 years. Table 1 and 2, Appendix 2. The age of the students varied from 15 to 33 years old. The range is 18. Or the average age of BUAS second year media students that was found in this study is 20. M is 20.04. S is 2.5, with the youngest student being 15 years old and the oldest student being 33 years old. Or I can also do something else. 68% of the second year BUAS media students are between 17.5 and 22.5 years old. And then report the mean and the standard deviation. So the mean is 20.04 and the standard deviation is 2.5. Note, there was one student of 15 years old and one student of 33 years old. Now the range, the minimum and the maximum. When to use? For ordinal variables or scale, but mostly used for ordinal variables. Questions you could ask: how often do BUAS media students listen to streaming music? Why to use it? Again, it will extend the information I can get from ordinal variables, and it gives me more insight into the complete picture of my data. How to do so in SPSS? Let's go back to SPSS, and again, of course, we will use analyze. Descriptive frequencies. I will change my data set and I will change it to the median, the range, the minimum and the maximum. I have an output file again which contains all information necessary. Now we will report it in Word. So back to Word, and what we find is, for instance, the median that has been found for the variable listening to streaming music was every day, 71.3%. MDN is 1. 11.8% of our media students listens to streaming music 4 to 6 times a week. See Table 3, Appendix 2. And only 2.2%, 3, answered that they never listened to streaming music. Or we have found that the median for the variable listening to streaming music was every day, 71.3% between brackets, followed by 11.8% of the students listening to streaming music 4 to 6 times a week, Table 3, Appendix 2. Or BUA second year students mostly listening streaming music on a daily basis. MDN is 1, Table 3, Appendix 2. Only a very small percentage does not listen to streaming music at all, 2.2%. So what about the mode? In the case of the mode, there is no measure of spread, because I can't arrange color in a certain order. Some final thoughts. You're only allowed to use the mean for scale, ratio, interval. You will rarely use the variance in a simple report. Mostly standard deviation is okay. You are only allowed to use standard deviation for scale variables. The standard deviation will give you insight in the spread of your outcomes, so it gives you more understanding of the spread or the complete picture of a certain variable. Range, minimum and maximum can be used for scale and ordinal variables. For the mode, there is no measure of dispersion. In your report, try to give a clear picture of your SPSS result, so the reader gets insight in your findings.